Good morning from Big Sky Country. I'm Stacy, owner of Montana Used Bricks, and it has been probably a month, maybe 2 months since I've done one of these videos. I have not been doing anything with my business lately, and it is definitely showing in the sales. We've only had, I think, 10 orders this month, and it's the 27th of September. And we actually went 10 days without one. It was during that integration of Bricklink and Lego.com, and I think that probably threw a lot of people off. It did us a little bit only because we were camping when the integration took place, and I totally spaced that it was going to happen, and we had to spend about a half hour one morning trying to figure out how we were going to do this. We lucked out a little bit because the usernames were very similar. I had been reading in the forums, and I've been reading on the Facebook Bricklink Worldwide Buyers and Sellers group, and there's a lot of information out there, but I think there's probably twice as much misinformation about what is going on and what's going to happen. A lot of it is really confusing to me, and I work in IT, and I have been through integrations of single sign-ons before, but the way that Lego is wording it and the way that people are interpreting it is very confusing. And I know some people were saying they had to appeal their name, and I'm not sure if they mean their username or their store name. As far as I know, we've had no issues with either. So I'm not sure what the deal is with that. I read somewhere you're not allowed to have the word brick in your store name. I would say probably 50% of the stores have the word brick in them. As long as it doesn't say Lego, you should be okay. I've also read that you're not supposed to have a location in your store name. Montana's a location, and I haven't gotten anything from Bricklink or Lego saying you can't use that username and or that store name. I'm not sure what's going to happen going forward, but right now the integration went well for us, other than taking us by surprise because we weren't home. There was 10 days in there that we were starting to wonder if maybe we didn't have the right approvals. We had a couple of people go in and attempt to order from our store. They didn't completely go through the order process, but they were able to go into the store, put stuff in the cart, and get to that point. After we had people do this, then we got an order. It was just one of those things. It's still very confusing to me. I think I'm just going to take the wait and see approach because I don't want to be proactive on stuff I don't need to be proactive on. With all the misinformation that's going around, I'm just going to wait and see what happens. I'm going to try to spend a little bit more time in the Bricklink forums to keep up on this stuff, but at the same time, maybe not. So like I said, I haven't really been doing anything with the business. I think in August, I only uploaded maybe 300 parts. I really hadn't done much in September just because every couple of years I go through this total burnout of doing all of this. I think I was to that point, had other interests that I was trying to pursue a little bit. I just put the store on hold. I didn't close it. We still took care of orders. Occasionally I'd come out and sort, but I wasn't really getting much into inventory. However, in the past week, I got a pretty cool offer. In our little town, they're going to have a Lego Day, and it's more of a family activity thing where they will have just a big pit of bricks that kids can build with. There's a couple of people that are going to bring in their personal Lego collections to show them off. There's not going to be a lot of mocks, mainly just Lego sets. They'll have different activities, they'll have Lego themed snacks, and it's very much family oriented. It's not a brick fest or anything major like that. It's just something fun to do in our little community. I was asked to do this from the gentleman that I bought the 80 pounds of Lego from last November. He actually called me on Messenger, and I didn't answer it because I hadn't talked to him in months. Thought maybe he just kind of like butt dialed me or something. So I didn't answer it, and then he started texting me. He said, hey, there's this Lego event. They're looking for people to help out. Is it okay if I give them your name and number? And I was like, yeah, go ahead. Talked a little bit more, and it started to sound more fun. And then I got a hold of the organizer, and he said, actually, we're looking for sponsors. When he told me the price, I'm like, well, that's really not that much. But at the same time, for my business, it's not going to bring in a lot of people. But it was such a fun idea. I said, yes, I will be a sponsor. Because I agreed to be a sponsor, all of a sudden it's like I've really gotten back into the Lego bug. And I've actually done a bunch of inventory, put stuff in, just feeling good about all of this. So what I am doing is I am sponsoring the Lego snacks. And I'm also going to get a table where I'm going to be able to set up some of our sets. We are going to take our Monster Fighter sets from 2012 that we've basically rebuilt through Bricklink. We got parts from our own inventory and from ordering them. So I think that'll be a good topic of discussion to get people more interested in Bricklink. And then I'm also going to put in some of the older sets that we've recreated over the years, because it sounds like a lot of the people that are bringing in sets are the newer ones. And the gentleman that told me about this, Ryan, actually has all the modular buildings, basically all the same ones I have, but he has a really cool cityscape setup with all the lights in the building. So I'm really excited to be able to see that in person. I've only ever seen pictures of it, so it'll be fun to see how he gets that set up there. One of the activities they're doing is a scavenger hunt. So throughout all these different displays that people are putting up, he's putting in little alien minifigures, and the kids have to go around and count all the minifigures. And if they get the right count, they put their name in for a drawing for Lego sets, of course. As for me, like I said, I'm going to have the Monster Fighter sets, and I'm still deciding on the older sets I want to use. The other things I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be selling my filler bricks, and half the proceeds will go toward this event. The other thing I'm going to do, and that is, guess how many Lego are in this jar. I thought this would be a lot of fun. I filled it with as many different kinds of Lego as I could. There's even rock in there, one of those big rock pieces. There's string, there's Technic, there's pins, plates, bricks, just about everything. I think there's even a dimensions disc, or there was. I see that it got buried again, but there's a dimension. Oh, there it is. The dimensions disc. There's a skeleton horse in there. So there's a little bit of everything, which will also be another great topic, is to talk about all the different types of bricks that Lego make. It's not just bricks and plates, that there's all this different stuff that you can use to build. So I had to count this 5 times before I finally got the last 2 counts to match. I was so beside myself. I was telling my husband, I said, I'm going crazy, because every time I count it, there's a different amount in here. And it was a range of like 17 parts, and it was just driving me crazy. And the last 2 finally came out right. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go with that number. If you have any idea what might be in this jar, how many pieces there are, put it in the comment below. I would love to see how many of you get close. I don't know how to give you much of a reference other than seeing my hand next to it, how big it is. The container is actually for Jelly Bellies. I think it's the 5-pound Kirkland brand from Costco of Jelly Bellies. That's how big this container is. But if you have a guess on how many parts are in this, put it in the comments below, because I'd be interested to see how many of you can guess, because I wouldn't have guessed the right amount. And if they do come close to getting the right amount, I have 2 of the Lego playbooks. I have the Lego playbook and the Lego ideas book. I've had these in my shop for several years. I haven't sold them because they're so heavy that it would cost more to ship them than what the book is worth. I also have 2 copies of these. I didn't need these books, and I thought these would be a great giveaway, especially for a family event like this. As you can tell, I'm really excited about this. I think what I'm most excited about is being around people that are as excited about Lego as I am. And I know just meeting with the organizer, he came over so he could see my shop and we could talk a little bit. And we probably talked for about 30 minutes. It's always so wonderful to have those Lego conversations, and I'm very much looking forward to this event. Not only is it this gentleman, he also has a YouTube, and if I remember, I'll try to put that in the description. He's got a YouTube channel called Be Creative. The other sponsor, I believe, is Bozeman's Bricks and Minifigures. They don't have their store open yet because my husband and I were just in Bozeman last weekend. And I'm like, holy cow, there was a Bricks and Minifigures and we weren't aware of it. And then we got to looking at his Facebook page and they're not quite open yet. So we didn't miss out because we like to go there to get the minifigures for my husband's collectible minifigures that he's trying to get. That is talking about everything that I have going on. Like I said, I'm very excited to be able to do this event. It's next weekend. If you are anywhere near Helena, Montana next weekend, it'll be at the Fairgrounds. You're more than welcome to come. It would be great to meet other Lego enthusiasts from Montana because I know there's a lot of us, but I feel like we're all kind of hidden and we're not able to get together. And this is such a great opportunity. One of the stories the organizer did tell me, which I thought was really funny, was he said they did this same event last May. When they set it up, they thought, oh, there's only going to be like 30, maybe 50 people that'll come. So that's all they were prepared for. They had over 800 people show up for this event. This time around, they're planning for 1,000. There should be quite a few people there, and I know I've been telling everybody about it, so I'm hoping there'll be even more. So basically, that's what I've been up to. I have not really been doing anything with my business except for this past week when all of a sudden there's been this big push to get ready for this event. And because of that, I've also taken the time to actually put some parts into inventory. I have a bunch of parts that I'm sorting out. I have 3 different hauls that I'm trying to finish up so that I can put those containers away. I haven't been filming a lot for a vlog. There are a couple, and I'm going to go ahead and add those to the end of this. There's just, I think maybe 2, possibly 3. Have not been doing anything. I apologize. I keep telling myself I'm going to start to get back to this, and I don't because I find other stuff I would rather be doing. So yesterday I got a message from a coworker that he forwarded on from Facebook Marketplace about someone who was selling Lego sets for $100. I didn't really believe it at first, but I immediately said I was interested, asked her a couple of questions, met up with her a couple hours later, and I ended up with 8 new Lego sets. The boxes have obviously been stored somewhere because there is a little bit of box damage, but other than that, they're brand new Lego sets. So there are 3 Christmas sets. There's 2 of these brick heads and this nutcracker. There's a Harry Potter Build Your Own Adventure set, a Hidden Side set. Behind that is a city set. And the 2 big sets are last year's Spider-Man Advent Calendar and this Batman set. These 2, probably the Batman set and the Advent Calendar set, we will probably part out just because the cost of shipping boxes that big negate any profit I would make. Those will probably part out, but the rest of these I will be getting onto eBay. I have not been doing much of anything with my store, and it's starting to show because we haven't had an order in, I want to say 9 days. I don't know if it's partially because of the merge that they did with Lego.com, or if there's some other issue going on, or if it's just because I have things in my store people don't want. But I'm hoping to change that. I am doing an upload. I'm about ready to upload, I believe, 151 parts and 100 lots for $32. There was some really good finds in here. There was the painted horse for over $5 and 3 of the monkeys for over $3. So I'm hoping getting some of this more unique stuff into my store will bring people in, and hopefully we can start getting sales again. So if you have a minute, I would love to hear your comments on the integration of Bricklink and Lego.com. If you're for it, against it, you had issues. If you had issues, what were your issues, and what rumors have you heard in regard to the integration? Because like I said, there's a lot of miscommunication out there. I'm not even going to really go into those because I don't want to push that information out there. I had somebody who had contacted me when that note first came out. She had watched a video and I didn't watch the video, so I don't want to say what they said or didn't say, and I'm not sure if they were giving the wrong information or she misunderstood how the information was coming across, or maybe they have it right and I have it wrong. I don't know. That's why I said I'm gonna wait and see. I can get into my store, I can get orders, so right now things are good for me, but I would be curious how things are going for you. Also, if you have a guess on my how many in the jar, I would love to hear your guess on this. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it that thumbs up. If you really liked it, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.